thank you so much. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for staying. I am very proud to bring back to the stage the director of a wonderful film you just seen, Agnieszka Holland.
Thank you.
We also
I am enjoying it, you know, but I didn't want to keep you too long.
We will make you stand up a few more times. I'm also very proud to bring to the stage some of the cast of the film. We have Behi, Djanati, Atai, that plays Leila in the film. We also have Jolie Mbundu, who came with us tonight. Woo! And the amazing director, Tomasz Naumiuk. Director of photography.
Photography.
We have one director and one director of photography. Thank you so much. Everybody, you're all set? Okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to start by a relatively easy question for you. It's a movie that I understand you made very fast, but it took you wrote you started the writing process whenever the border, like whenever the migrants arrived in Belarus, which was about 4 years ago, but you only started shooting in March.
No, actually it wasn't 4 years ago. The big number of refugees started to coming in the summer of 2021.
Okay, so yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And on the beginning it wasn't visible out of the area. And then was one event which took our attention. It was a group of Afghani refugees with also teenagers, young teenagers, and elder women, sick women, who've been trapped in some kind of the limbo between Polish and Belarusian territory and been surrounded from one side from Belarusian guards and from other side by Polish guards. And on the beginning, and they cannot move in neither way because they've been stopped by the militaries. They've been hungry, they've been cold, they've been thirsty, some of them have been sick. On the beginning, the Polish border guards have been providing some food and drinks, mostly buying it by themselves. And the journalists and also local people and some activists started to come there and to try to negotiate their fate. But one day the order came, apparently, that it's impossible to approach them. When the translators tried to communicate with them through the megaphone, the engine of the trucks military trucks have been put, and it was impossible to hear. So the situation became desperate, and the border guards didn't allow anyone to approach. And for me, it was very clear that some kind of the new order will be put in, that is the beginning of something new. That is the beginning to institutionalize the violence and to try create some kind of the propaganda lie which made impossible to anyone to approach the real situation and to communicate with the refugees. And after our area had been closed by some kind of the emergency state, and the access was forbidden to the medias, all medias, the cameras and the journalists, to humanitarian organizations, to medical organizations, and to the observers. So practically the big part of Polish territory was like taken out of democratic order. And we didn't know exactly what was going on. Of course, the local people have been still living there, but they've been scared to death, and the military started to come in big numbers, and all the area looked like under the state of war. And the activists, anyway, organized better and better, and tried to help the people, but their access have been limited, and the legal situation have been very uncertain. Very slowly, their actions, like the pure and simple humanitarian actions, have been criminalized, and they didn't know what they can do, what they cannot do. If, for example, to give the water to somebody, it means prison, or if to pass, and so on. So, why so? It became very clear to me when Mr. Kaczynski, who is the ruler of the country, even if he's only the head of the party, said something in his very cynical way, that America lost the war in Vietnam because they allowed the media to see how this war looks like. So of course it woke up a lot of suspicions that what is really going on, and after the news about the first death started to appear, and the images, some stolen images also, and I decided that that situation is not new to me somehow, because I spent a big part of my life researching, and telling the story of the atrocities of 20th century. And I felt that this similar wind of possible disaster is forming not only on Polish-Belarusian border, but on practically all European exterior borders. But in Poland, it became in that wood, which is ancient wood, it became some kind like horror story. I called it the Laboratory of Violence and Lie. And we felt many people who've been touched by that. I wasn't the one only. Many of us, citizens of Poland, felt that it's necessary to do something about it, that we cannot just watch that the people are dying on our territory just because they want better life. So I thought that I have the tool and I have the arm maybe to do something, and that what I know to do is making movies, feature films, fiction films. It's what I was doing all my life. And that is precisely the best way to tell that story. So I asked two of my friends, the screenwriters, to join me, and we've been like collecting a lot of stories, collecting a lot of documents, statements, videos, photos, reportages. And especially we talked to the people, the activists and the local people, and by the end also the border guards to some refugees. And we wrote the script very fast. We wrote it till the end of 2021, in 2 months practically. And then I wanted absolutely to do it immediately, but it appeared not so easy because we needed money. And it was like surprise. Really no one who wanted to give us some. But Polish producer, courageous, the bravest man really I made lately, joined me, and we started to fight for some money, and then another just people join us, and after the institutions from France, Belgium, Czech Republic, and we've been ready to greenlight the film without having all the budget, but the good hopes that it will be completed in the beginning of that year. So we shot it in March 2023, and we finished the film fast enough to show it at Venice Film Festival. It means it was the fastest production of my life. And it was possible because all my production partners, all the crew, Tomek from the very beginning, and two young women directors who I asked to collaborate with me, to shoot with me the movie, and the cast and all the crew, everybody worked in incredibly devoted and cheap way. So we did it.
Do you want to can we ask a quick question to
Sure.
the actresses, how they came into the project?
To whom?
Behi and Joël.
Okay. Oh, wow. I knew, of course, Agnieszka Holland's work. And when Maria Biharska, who is a French producer, the French producer of this movie, asked me about the movie and talked to me about the movie, I was so wow. I said, yes, absolutely, I'm going to do this movie.
So you got a script, or?
Yes, and it was, the Behi worked with Maria Blicharska, who is our French co-producer, and she also is working sometimes as a casting advisor. So she was instrumental and crucial in completing entire cast of refugees, because I knew very well Polish actors, but I didn't know Syrian actors in Europe, and I didn't know Behi yet, which seems impossible, but who doesn't know Behi?
Yeah. Everybody in New York now knows her.
Yes. And then we went also to Belgian side to look for the actors, and Jolie accepted to take the role, even if it wasn't the main role, as it was in her previous movie, Tori and Lokita, by brothers Dardenne.
Thank you.
And we had incredibly, bright and generous actors, and very talented. And Jalal and Mohammed, it was Behi's find, and Dalia as well. So the family, we created the family, and it was important to me that the Syrian family is Syrian, that they have all similar accent, that the children are also Syrian children. I didn't want to have the controversies, that Golda Meir is not Jewish enough, or the things like that. Yeah, we wanted it to be really authentic, credible, and not to have the problems with the minor credibilities, authenticity.
I also would like to ask a question to you, since the cinematography is really important part of the movie. I wanted to know how you discuss the decision of shooting in black and white, and also how challenging was the shoot, and especially working in the forest. And I assume it was probably shot not by Belarus, but maybe further south in the
Next to Warsaw.
Okay. So can you, would you like to talk a little bit about the approach and your collaboration with Agnieszka?
Right. So basically, we met.
Closer.
We met with Agnieszka on one of the protests when everything grew up, what's happening on the border. And then Agnieszka spotted me over there and said, we have to something to do about it. So this is how the process started. And then we start discussion and over discussion. And then basically, I never thought I will shoot black and white because I love color and playing with color and so on. But as we go deeper and deeper into this story, and when we realize how many cultures going in to the same place, how many different people from different cultures, and how color might be like wrongly interpreted some scenes, then we realize, okay, we cannot use colors because we can make a fault. We can like make some mistakes, and then we decide to go with black and white. And
well, but it's also true that we would love always to shoot black and white. It means it is dream of any cinematographer and any director to shoot black and white, and mostly it's impossible.
Yeah, so this discussion was much before between two of us because Agnieszka wanted to do it. It never was my dream. But now I'm very happy about it.
Well, you know, the question of black and white is coming practically always when I am giving the interview. So after a while, one doesn't want to be boring, you know. So I made 5 or 6 reasons why black and white, and after I asked journalists to choose the number. So because you are many here, so we cannot do that lottery. But what
can
Tomek,
we tell the truth?
But what
right
Tomek says is true. I always wanted, you know, wanted that film to be, no?
No. I just waving. It's not the truth what I said.
Okay.
So the truth was what I said. It was one of the reasons, but the real truth was we start shooting in March. Then comes April and May, and everything starts getting green. So it helps us a lot.
So as you can see, we had very much fun.
Well, it was fun shoot, really.
A lot of fun.
And the way of shooting, and you can see we've been practically Tomek with camera because he was operating as well. He was practically covering in one shot entire scene, and every time it was different kind of especially the big scenes, like the pushbacks or the scenes of violence. And after it came to life in the editing room somehow.
Yeah. Also, important thing was because we knew we don't want to shoot this film in the typical way. What we can do this like typical overshot and so on. This all setups quite boring. So I tried to find a way, and I asked Agata Kubis, which is like a journalist photographer, and she was there on the border. And I asked her, how you do it? And she said, just imagine that you have like 5 seconds in the time when everyone helping those people, and you feel guilty already that you have to make a photo and you are not happy in this time. And you have no even like second to think about it, how to compose and so on. And they said, okay, this is the way how we should shoot it. So I asked Agata to be with us on set as a still photographer, and I asked her about one thing, just remind me this rule every single morning, and then we like follow it.
It seemed that it was a very productive collaboration, and you seem to agree on everything. So.
Yeah, we make 2.5 hour movie in 23 days. Very productive.
At what point did you bring the end of the film, which is where the start of the Ukrainian arrival of the refugees in Poland? When did that get incorporated in?
Well, when it happened, you know.
Okay.
It means the movie was. We've been somehow responsive to the reality. We've been already practically in some kind of the preparation, even if we didn't have money in February 2022. And then the war in Ukraine started, the full-scale war. And that it was such an incredibly important event, which put also, from the geopolitical point of view, the new light on the situation on Polish-Belarusian border, that for the moment we had the question if we still have the reason to continue our story. And after quite short time, after a few weeks, we realized that it becomes even more powerful because it shows like the wider scale of the theater of that events, and also of the manipulation of Putin and Lukashenko. It means this geopolitical kind of the situation, but also it shows what it means to be white refugee, what it means to be refugee from faraway countries with different color of skin, and how much we are able to accept the others, the stranger. It's many questions. I don't want to be judgmental or speak about racism, but I deeply believe that racism becomes again a very important emotion, not only politically, but also on the existential and social level. So we have to deal with that. We have to ask the questions about it. We have to ask the questions about our own borders, what we can accept, what we cannot, what we are afraid of, how much we see others as human beings and the brothers, sisters, and how much they are the threat to us. And I think that is the most important issue, one of the two most important issues for the future of Europe, and probably America as well, a part of together with the climate catastrophe, but they are connected also. So that is probably the most important issue, and no one is really dealing with that in honest way. Some regimes or governments are using it as some kind of the political gold to create the fear among the population and to keep the power, authoritarian or populist authoritarian or fascist. And some others, more liberal, are just hiding the head in the sand like the outrages and refuse to face the situation and to look for the real solutions if there are any.
I know you received a lot of attack in your own country for the film, but I have to say it's a really, really beautifully nuanced work. It shows the good side of Europe and the bad side of Europe, and both of them together, and how people react differently. And I just hope that your film will make a difference in life and the election. And
I don't know about the elections. You know, we can play both ways, and it wasn't our target. Our target, it was to give the voice to voiceless and not to allow that the refugees or the people who choose to help them on any price are just reduced to some kind of the political objects, political checks used by the different powers for keep their power. So it was main thing. It was to give the voice to voices and to somehow wake up our conscience. And we succeeded, at least in Poland. It's obvious that the film made a lot of admissions as well, of course, that is important. It's called, you are calling it box office, right?
I'm sure the producer are happy.
Yeah.
500,000.
I am producer also, so yeah.
500,000.
No, you know, we made that film for the people. We didn't make it, you know, for some like narcissistic reason to feel just or to feel noble or something like that. We made it to really open the hearts and heads. And it works like that. It means, as I said on the beginning, it never happened to me before, that kind of the reception. And of course, it created also a lot of aggression and violence and attacks and propaganda from the governmental side, with what we expected, maybe not to such an extent. I never thought that I will be so important that President of Poland, Prime Minister of Poland, the head of the ruling party, Minister of Justice, Minister of Defense, Minister of Foreign Affairs, he said something, I'm not sure. Anyway, many ministers.
A lot of men.
Yeah. Yes, some women also. One judge of the Constitutional Tribunal also expressed her feelings. So, so I never expected I would be so important, you know, but.
I have to thank you for being here tonight. We have to wrap it up, but you have another screening tomorrow, which I think is Thursday.
There's one question apparently.
Yeah.
Question on that.
Where?
There in the middle.
Up.
I have simple answer, you know. Tomek is genius.
The correct answer is, if you got good cast members, then it's easy.
Yeah, it's true that they are following the camera, you know. They are fighting to be in front of the camera, so.
It's true.
We did it.
Yeah, Behi was very successful. Yes? Well, you know, when you have such a hateful propaganda, which is very massive, and this emotion in the countries are very high, so something like the pogrom-like atmosphere is built up quite cynically, and by the people who supposed to create the peace in the country, because it's their duty. So you can always be afraid that some crazy person who is susceptible to that kind of the emotions and propaganda, and who believes that I'm really enemy of the state and the traitor to Poland, and that I am dirty, you know, Jew, and that I have to leave, you know, the country or whatever, that he will do, or she will do, he rather, something dangerous. So I'm not stupid, and we made the precautions when I've been in Poland and traveling, you know, with the movie from theater to theater. And so, yeah, I didn't feel completely safe.
But I'm a bodyguard here, so she'll be
here. My friends from New York organized this extremely nice bodyguard here. And actually, and in Poland I had two who've been absolutely lovely. And they started really like the film and the discussions. So, you know,
they come to the next Q&A. So.
Well, yeah, they've been, you know, actually we had many Q&As, and they've been sitting on all of them, and they've been judging, you know. So,
if the question is not good, they'll...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So, you know, it's okay, they like all of you. So.
It is interesting experience anyway, and I hope it will pass.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.